Hey, everybody, it's the Coach. This is Thursday Night Football on
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Tonight, we're on to week 2 in the NFL season as we've got a good one here between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Off the play fake. Here's Brissett. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Big yardage after the catch. That one winds up going for 36. Well, how about a deep ball on the first play from scrimmage, putting that secondary on notice?
Brandon, all I remember when I was a player is that we always took a test the night before the game about teams' tendencies and what they plan to do. I'm not sure we think deep ball right out of the gate and putting us back on our heels. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Brissett to throw on first. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And it's second down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. And he'll give it here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Our game not even 2 minutes old, but a quick red zone opportunity. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. It's caught. Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards the pickup, first down. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. Their plan is working.
And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down. Devon Kennard. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Irv Smith Jr. there to make the grab. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed, and this is what they said all week long.
Smith Jr. Touchdown, Vikings.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Zerline connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A 10-play drive that time, and it's polished off by a Viking score. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. Leading the charge at quarterback, the former Georgia Bulldog, Matthew Stafford.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They're going to get 9 here on first down as he gets this one up to the 34-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They'll run it with Johnson. Johnson, oh, it's poke free. Football's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home, the next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake.
And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Detroit. Laquan Treadwell, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. And that time, he came out of the slot for that big play downfield for the score.
I think what we just saw there, partner, was what we call scheming a guy open. Put him in the slot, know that he has tremendous speed. What you're doing with your other receivers is likely running shorter routes to draw the attention closer to the line of scrimmage, to give him a chance to get downfield and turn it into a one-on-one route, often against the safety. You like your odds when he's running against the safety. His speed usually wins, and it did on that play.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Play fake, Brissett. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 43.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Now a handoff here to his running back. And Justin Coleman brings him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
To throw is Brissett. The open man is Smith. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 14. So there on that play, offensively, they were in the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it second down and 11. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's second and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Brissett. And this one complete to Smith. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. There just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
Zerline's kick is up and through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, if they bring in your tight end, keep him in, your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now throwing on 1st down and completing it. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people who have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
Alert!
Throwing again. Stafford. Catch is made. It's Harmon. And he's got this down to the 35. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 35.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
Faking the give to Johnson. Now it's Stafford. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Going to give this time to the tailback. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. Give him 8 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Pulled in at the 24. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Lions will take over. Back out is Matthew Stafford in the Lions offense. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. We'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Two minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Now, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a 2nd one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the 1st.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. They'll fake it. Now Stafford. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down.
Well, there's times when you see these catches that are made, and we just know the guys playing it are really wishing for college rules. Only need that one foot down instead of two. It's awfully difficult on the sideline, isn't it?
On second down, Johnson. Big Andrew Billings there on the stop. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. T.J. Hockenson. His second touchdown on the season. And the Lions are going to jump back in front. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Inside of a minute left in the half. Does the fact that you're down on the scoreboard influence what you do or, I guess, don't do on this final drive?
It certainly does, but what influences me even more is who I've got running my football team out on the field and the weapons around him. Can he make a play? Can he get into someone that we're going to trust to take care of the ball? If that's the case, I might push it a little bit here and try and get something before the half runs out.
Brissett now going for the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A two-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down, and it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops, and if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room. Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more.
And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts. as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Looking deep downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position after a turnover. I feel like I might have them a little bit off balance. I prefer to take a shot, but a lot of coaches will tell you you only do it if you trust the guy who's got the football in his hands. Meaning, if it's not there, he won't force it downfield and maybe turn it into an interception. He'll go to the check down, go to a second option, and go ahead and take the play that's in front of him.
And now this throw incomplete, and that is how this first half will come to an end. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Getting set to go again, Matthew Stafford trots back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say not get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little, kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And they're able to convert on third with a solid gain of 23. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A shotgun snap for Stafford. He's going to let this one go deep. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Mackenzie Alexander with a pick. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 13. It's a 1st down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a 1st down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
On 2nd and 11 now. Brissett complete. Smith has it. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Brissett. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
And this one is right down the middle. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. A couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hawkinson. And now it's 2nd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target in the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. Stafford. Got an open man. It's Harmon. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted, right? And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. From 10 yards out. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT. That, of course, all set up by the big run on the play prior. They took advantage right away with the touchdown throw.
And you mentioned advantage, probably taking advantage of their natural instinct after that previous play to be aggressive and rush towards the line of scrimmage. And instead, they were vulnerable to the pass.
After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And we've got a penalty marker down here as he's able to get this only to the 20-yard line.
Return team.
Now this is going to put him back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Brissett. He's got Smith here. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Fielded at about the 28. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Detroit getting set to go now. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Defensively, Harrison Phillips there to stop him. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
The Lions on third down. They've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Now Stafford. That's caught by Treadwell. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. A bit of an opening there on the first down run as they get this forward for about 6 yards. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Now it's Stafford off the bootleg. And this one's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. They go over the middle, and it's complete to start the drive. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And the ball is knocked out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. This was a close game. They needed a little breathing room. Boy, they got it right there on that return for a touchdown.
Yeah, we would say that this could be huge. Forget it. It was huge. Gave them a comfortable lead.
Prater for the extra point. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there, grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind. It's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, The quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Now left side on the swing pass. Decent start to the drive there. Of course, they need the touchdown, two-point conversion, and a field goal.
Yeah, those guys are into it. How about the guys on the sideline? Do you see the coaches signaling? All the personnel groups up on the sideline ready to go in and out of the game. They've got to condense their time now in order to try and get back into it.
Throwing again on second down. Brissett, and he gets this one to Ridley, complete. Give him 14 on that one and a first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. To throw, Brissett. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll be brought down right on the 50. A gain of 3.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner. Everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Something of a rare incompletion. Remember, Charles, last week under 50% throwing the football. That's what he was, but he has turned that around in this game.
Last week was commonly known as a fluke. For him to be under 50%, not normal, not the usual.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The ex-Iowa Hawkeye Mike Daniels in for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
And he's able to find Diggs. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, that ball was not streaking towards him. That little arc on it, he's got to find a way to get his head around and make a play on the football.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Brissett sets to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
But he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Throwing, Brissett to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
On 2nd and goal, Brissett. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right. And if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. The busy night continues for Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Now I think we're going to get a timeout here. Yes, a timeout here as it looks like we've got a Lion that's shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. A first down carry here for Johnson.
That's it, baby.
Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Again, it's Johnson. And he gets it down to the 32. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And the Lions will take the knee here with victory in the cards.
Lady. Double tight, guys, double tight. We got 4. We got 4.
Stafford down to a knee, and with it, he's going to ensure his guys a victory. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions, and they were really helped by their defense, forcing 3 turnovers.
I think what we saw in this one, today's defense. And what I mean by that is in the old days, pitching shutouts was big time. That was paramount. But the big thing was holding people down, holding down their yardage, right? Don't let them throw the ball through the air and gain a lot of... But now, it's about taking the ball away. Taking away possessions, getting the ball back for their offense. They had 3 takeaways in this one, and it led them to victory.
So for Detroit, they did what